Are we live? We are. I think we are. Yes. We got a nice connection, excellent connection over on YouTube. No mishaps, no misfires. Let me pull myself up on the stream. I always like to make sure all my stuff is looking good. It is. All right. I think we're golden, ladies and gents. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. This is the very first live stream on this fairly new channel, Unofficially IMO. And the IMO stands for, in my opinion, if you have not noticed, I haven't put out that many videos recently. I've only put out, I think, 18 total videos on the channel and a couple shorts. And I'm just kind of experimenting with the channel right now. There's nothing really new or exciting well, I shouldn't say exciting because the whole thing is exciting, to be honest with you. All of it is exciting. There's just a lot of different things that I want to do with this channel. More so, it's just this whole entire channel is designed to just talk about anything and everything that's going on in the world. We talk about a lot of different topics. We talk about politics. We talk about, entertainment. We talk about what's trending in the news. We talk about just anything and everything. Sometimes I'm a little late to the party. Other days I'm not. Some days I'm on top of it, but it's something fairly new to me. It's something that I wanted to start because there's one too many of days where I sit back and I tell myself, you know what? I have a lot of opinions about a lot of different things. So I'm like, you know what? Let's start a YouTube channel. Let's start a YouTube channel. Let's talk about the things that I am interested in and see where it goes, see what happens with it. As far as the growth of the channel, it's growing a little bit faster than I thought it would. I didn't think it would grow to 47 subscribers now. So all 47 of you out there that have subscribed to the channel, you know exactly who you are. I do appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. And it means the world to me because it's just an idea that I had, and it's kind of like one of those things like, yeah, so did everybody else on the planet. Everybody had an idea of starting a YouTube channel, being opinionated and talking about the things that people want to talk about. And so there's a lot of channels out there that do that very same thing. And, but I felt like I could do it a little bit better than most. And I have a lot of respect for people that start YouTube channels, to put themselves out there and to talk about the things they want to talk about, because this is a very chaotic and crazy world that we live in. There's a lot of critics out there. There's a lot of people that will put you down and say some really dumb stuff, and that's not me, right? I'm going to tell you my opinion, but I also have a lot of respect for people that go out there and put themselves out there and talk about things they want to talk about. Because people are very, very hateful and very, very critical, I should say, of, just everybody and anything. As far as this live stream, again, this is the very first live stream. I have never went live on this channel before, so we're just kind of winging it together. I don't know what to expect. We are live on YouTube. I don't have any other streaming platforms at the moment for this channel. Just YouTube is the only thing that we're looking at right now as far as our live stream goes. You never know. We might branch off to other platforms like Kick or Twitch. More so Kick or Rumble. Kick and Rumble, those two platforms are probably more suitable for opinionated based type content like this one. So we may branch off over there to Kick and Rumble. Twitch not so much. Twitch has its has its place, but Kick for sure and Rumble. But right now we are just on YouTube. This is our thing. This is what we do, and this is what we are going to do. And Dawn is in the house. I have no sound effects right now for this particular channel. So we do want to just go ahead and give the clapping sound. Welcome, Dawn. Dawn is the very first to chat in this live stream. The very first one. No one else has came in here yet and said hello, except for Dawn. Dawn is the very first one. So yes, in history, remember this day that Dawn, December 10th, 2025, the very first unofficially IMO live stream has came in to say hello. Yes, that is great. That is great. I don't necessarily have it. Well, I do kind of have an agenda today. I'm not just going to sit here and shoot the breeze the entire time and chit chat and talk. I do want to go over a few different things, because what I plan on doing a little bit more so in the future, and today is more of an experimental live stream. It's not necessarily me, coming in here and wanting to plan, live stream every single day. That's not the case, because I don't, I don't want to live stream every single day on this channel. I do and I don't. But at the same time, when I do live stream, it's probably going to be, I want to try to shoot for like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, live stream on this, and just kind of play with it and see what happens. If we get more people wanting to see me go live to give you my unofficial opinion on what's happening in the world, if there's more requests for that, then we will definitely push for more. It's kind of like there's not a lot of big content creators in this niche that live stream on a regular basis. There's only one that I know that is probably the biggest one that live streams all the time, and that's Candace Owens. She streams all the time, and she gets a shit ton of views. There's a lot of people that watch her and her live streams and just her content in general. So she's very popular in that area as far as live stream goes. But like other guys like Brandon Tatum, he doesn't live stream all the time. He does here, from here and there from time to time. Mark Dice, I don't think he live streams very often. Who's the other one? Carmen JC. She's not new, but she's been on YouTube for a little while now. She got a lot of good things going for her channel. I don't think she live streams very often either. So it's like a lot of the big content creators that do live stream. Graham Allen, is he a live streamer? Does he live stream a lot? I think he does, right? Yeah, he does. He live streams. Does he live stream every day? I spilled my coffee on myself. Spilled my coffee on myself. On Rumble? Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, he's on YouTube though too, right? He live streams on YouTube, and then, or is it just Rumble only? I can see why somebody would want to live stream on Rumble versus YouTube, because there's a lot of different things that you could probably get away with on Rumble versus YouTube. YouTube is a little you can't really go balls deep into how you really feel or what you really want to say without probably hurting some feelings. Whereas Rumble, yeah, you could probably get away with a little bit more room to really come out and be yourself on that platform. But YouTube is the king of all content creation and live streaming. YouTube is a place to be. because they have a lot of cool things going, and they have a lot of, especially on the live stream side. I think they're trying to focus more on how they can prioritize live streamers because there's a lot of people that all they do is live stream. We don't do that here. But we like to put out videos. And we have, like I said, 18 videos now on our channel. And I think we have 47 subscribers. So yeah, we're going places. We're doing things, ladies and gentlemen. I don't expect heavy traffic because again, we are very new. There's probably not going to be a lot of interaction today. And that's fine because this is just me just kind of getting on here and just kind of shooting shit with everybody. And we'll see if the algorithm does anything with it. We'll just have to wait and see. But nonetheless, yes, this is something very new as far as just me coming on here and talking about just, my opinion about a lot of things, because, whether it's popular or not, some people can agree or disagree. I'm just here to just kind of give you my own 2 cents on everything and just to kind of have fun and chit chat, man. Just to come on here and just, hang out. You know what I mean? Again, I do have an agenda today. There is a few things I do want to talk about. And again, sometimes I'm behind. I really am. Sometimes I feel like I am behind a little bit. It just depends on, what that particular topic is for that's either trending in the news. I might be a couple days late to the party on it. Or sometimes I'm right on the money. But we tend to, we tend to put out the things that we just want to talk about, whether it's popular with people or not. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's not the most glamorous thing out there that people are interested in, or even just in general about whatever it is, but I try to put out things that are that people that I feel like people are going to want to look into and actually watch. But I talk about everything. I really do. I talk about a lot of different stuff. I already made some mistakes on this channel going live because there's a few different things that you have to do. I won't get into it, but I went live the first time earlier today and I had to delete it. I was like, holy cow. Yeah, I messed that one up. It's kind of like you're nervous to go live on something that you've never done before. I'm used to giving my opinion on stuff, but going live on a YouTube platform for that particular niche, you're kind of like, oh, damn, what do I talk about? I'll tell you what I do want to talk about. Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, I went live and I immediately had to go back in and delete it out because what initially happened was, I want to get into like the details of it, but what happened was I created a live stream via OBS, which is a streaming platform that I use to broadcast the live stream. I created the live stream. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I created the live stream and I forgot to create two separate live streams with two separate stream keys. And what initially happened was I created two of the same live stream and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to create two different live streams, one in short form content and the other one in normal content, which is 1920 by 1080. And I ended up creating two short live streams. And I'm like, I don't need all that. So I made a mistake. Oh, how do you say the name? Pantone? Is that how you say it? I'm going to get into it, y'all. There's some things going on in the news right now that a lot of people are really pissed off about for some strange reason. I thought we were kind of over this, but apparently we are not. Pantone names Cloud Dancer as 2026 color of the year, and people are losing their minds over this right now, and it is hilarious. Let's take a look and see exactly what's going on with it. Let's take a look. Oh my. And they're already posting some stuff that's unpopular. Pantone names Cloud Dancer as 2026 Color of the Year. Officially Pantone 11-4201. Cloud Dancer works as a soothing neutral that pairs with any color in fashion, design, and tech. Some see political meaning in the choice, linking it to post-election feelings or loaded symbols, while others question ties to history and past donations. Defenders point out last year's warm brown mocha mousse faced no complaints, highlighting the split over white as purity or blank slate. Designers welcome its versatility as Pantone stays silent on the politics. Stay silent, don't say anything. Stay silent, don't say shit. Okay? Sydney Sweeney, you see her there. They're using her for a reason. Pantone's Color of the Year 2026, Sydney Sweeney, white. They're using her to trigger Democratic liberals, more so woke liberals to trigger them. That's why that person posted that right there. They're trying to get a reaction out of you. Do nothing. Say nothing. Don't say anything. Be like, what was it? Not Levi's. Who was the one that Sydney Sweeney was talking about? Did the commercial with? Oh my God, I have a brain fart. Don't say anything. When Sydney Sweeney did the jeans commercial, she didn't say anything for the longest time. She got heavily criticized for doing it because she was white. That's the reality of it, because she was white. And they were pissed off. This company, Pantone, don't say anything. Leave it alone. Let these liberals fall over themselves and let them say something very stupid, which they already have. People are losing their minds over. They're saying all sorts of dumb shit. Don't say anything. It's best that you just keep quiet and don't say anything. American Eagle. I don't know why I said Levi's. American Eagle. When Sydney Sweeney did the American Eagle commercial, y'all remember that? When Sydney Sweeney did that commercial, everybody lost their damn minds. Everybody had the biggest meltdown for nothing, for absolutely nothing. And they found race in it. You ever notice that people find race in it? And you only look for race, in my opinion, you only look for racial stuff if you're racist. Am I the only one that thinks that? You only look for racial stuff if you have hate in your heart towards a specific race. Don't you? Like when I saw Pantone names Cloud Dancer Color of the Year for 2026, I didn't think anything racial at all. I didn't think anything white supremacy, racist, just bigotry. None of that came to mind. It just doesn't, because I'm not a hateful person. If you're a hateful person and you saw that white was the color of the year that they chose, and it triggered you and it pissed you off, I think you're a little bit hateful towards white people. I really do. I think you're a hateful person. I think you have some underlying, mental health issues that you should probably talk to a psychiatrist. It's not normal behavior for somebody to immediately go to race. If you immediately go to that is a problem. And people are literally losing their minds. They really are. And Sydney Sweeney, for the longest time, didn't say anything. That's the thing. You do you. You say what you say. You mean it. You're unapologetic about it. Don't apologize for anything, especially if you mean what you say, because that's who you are as a person. Don't bullshit yourself. Don't bullshit others. Stay true to yourself. She stayed true to herself. She didn't say anything for the longest time, and it was awesome. Nobody, liberals were losing their minds over her American Eagle commercial. That was great. And American Eagle stock soared through the roof, literally soared through the roof because of her and the backlash that she got. And what it does is it pisses people off. It pisses people off. and it causes them to retaliate in a good way. And what did they do? They're like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go buy me some American Eagle jeans. They might not even be a fan of Sydney Sweeney, but a part of them tells them that, you know what, just because of that, I don't like what you did there. I don't like how you took something so innocent as far as just no racial bias towards it whatsoever. Nothing, no racial anything. And everybody took it and ran with it as a racial issue. And that pissed people off. So what did they do? They went out and bought American Eagle jeans, and their stock price soared through the roof. It's kind of like when you start hearing about gun violence on the news, and then Democrats cry, get rid of the ARs and they should be banned and take the guns off the street. Beto O'Rourke, y'all remember that when Beto O'Rourke said that? Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s and your AK-47s and all this other shit. And that ended his political career, in my opinion, when he said that. You're in the wrong country to be talking about taking away guns from people. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that ended Beto O'Rourke's political career, in my opinion, when he said that, when he was running for president. And it's kind of the same thing. What did people do? They went out and bought a shit ton of guns. Americans got pissed off at that. And then they went out and then they bought a bunch of guns. I think the gun prices soared like a lot. I don't know the exact number. I don't want to say it. I don't even want to guess because I don't even know. But it soared up quite a bit. More and more people, I think new people went out and got weapons, guns that they've never owned before. I think a lot of people went out and bought, ARs that they've never owned before, or they have owned and they just added to their collection. I think ammo soared a lot. There's like a huge influx of people just buying guns and ammo after he said that. And the Sydney Sweeney thing, everybody went out and bought American Eagle jeans. And American Eagle's been around a long time. American Eagle, Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch, like all those, those companies that tailor more to the, just the fashion style. And it's not like you're wearing Gucci. It's American Eagle. I'm a Wranglers guy. I like Wranglers, but American Eagle, I have no problem with American Eagle. I have no problem with it at all. Me personally, I'm going to go and probably wear maybe a pair of Levi's or Wranglers. But it just pissed people off. They're like, we've had enough. And I think it triggered people to go buy American Eagle jeans. And Sydney Sweeney was like, the poster woman for that company, and people loved it. And I think their stock price soared because people just had enough. They're like, you know what? We're not going to let you just, get all pissy and pissed off over something so stupid. And now Pantone is going through the same, in my opinion, they're going kind of through the same process as American Eagle. Not quite on the scale as American Eagle, the whole bullshit thing over there that was going on. It's not quite at that level. I'd say it's maybe half that. And what it is nobody said anything about their color last year. What was their color last year? Let me see. What was it? It was like a mocha. It was like a mocha color, wasn't it? Let's see. Oh, yeah. It was like a mocha color. Warm, comforting. Let's see. Pantone color of the year 2025, which it's like a year ahead. It's like a car, right? 2026 model. But 2025 was Mocha Mousse. Is it Mocha Mouse? Mocha Mousse. Mocha Mousse. A rich, warm, mellow brown that evokes comfort, indulgence, and the pleasure of chocolate and coffee. Speaking of coffee, hang on. Yes. Let me start that over. Pantone color of the year for 2025 is Mocha Mousse. Pantone 17-1230. A rich, warm, mellow brown that evokes comfort, indulgence, and the pleasures of chocolate and coffee. responding to a desire for simple, sensorial satisfaction. Is that how you say that? It's described as an earthy, elegant, and comforting shade perfect for home decor, fashion, and accessories, pairing well with neutral materials like wood and stone. And that is true. Every color that you look at has something that it is paired with. Like if you live in the desert, if you live in California, Arizona, Nevada, parts of Utah, Colorado, like there are certain parts of like just in the States that different colors of shades of colors that go with the environment that you live in. And, brown is like a desert color. If you come out to Arizona, if you go out to Nevada, like Las Vegas or whatever, everything's brown. Brown goes with brown in the desert, right? So it's the same as white. The only thing is why I think they're pissed is white, Cloud Dancer, white goes with everything. And liberals don't like that shit. Liberals don't like white going with everything. They use race. It always comes down to race. It pisses me off, man. It's always a racial thing. And it's because they're hateful. They just hate the color white. There's some people that just, when they hear white, it triggers them for some strange reason. I think it's funny. It's funny at the end of the day. You have to kind of sit back and have fun with this and just kind of watch the meltdown. It's very entertaining. But yes, white. Let me see what Google says with this. Here is 2026's Cloud Dancer is Pantone 114201. Again, we already read this on X here. Pantone's choice of Cloud Dancer has sparked a significant online debate with reactions ranging from appreciation to criticism. I think it's more about criticism at this point, unfortunately. Now, it's a symbolism. Pantone leadership views the shade as a blank canvas that provides a foundation for creativity and allows other colors to shine. They describe it as a neutral, non-bleached white that provides a refuge from the cacophony. Is that a cacophony of modern life? The criticism, many designers and social media users have called the choice tone deaf or uncreative, especially given the current social and political climate. It's always political with these people, I swear. Critics argue that choosing white is a safe or minimalistic decision that fails to engage with global issues, with some pointing out the loaded cultural and political symbolism associated with the color. Again, I don't see an issue with this. And to be honest with you, white does go with everything. It really does. White goes with black. White goes with purple. White goes with green. White goes with blue, beige, black. I already said black. Yellow. I'm a Steelers fan. We're big Steelers fans in this house. It's black and yellow, black and gold, white and black, white and yellow. White goes with every single color. But if you're one of these crazy people, man, it does not go with everything. Choosing the color white during the social and political climate really says something. This is according to Fox News. Pantone's 2026 color of the year, Cloud Dancer, sparked a fierce opposition. I almost said opposition. Pantone's 2026 color of the year, Cloud Dancer, sparked fierce opposition from aggressives, suggesting it could have political implications and slamming the choice as painfully tone deaf. I don't think it's tone deaf at all. I really don't. White goes with everything, says the Times. It's fine all by itself. It is. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Wokies are furious that Pantone picked white as its color of the year for the first time ever. Color of the year choices. They're using Sydney Sweeney for a reason, because she's white and she got all that backlash for being white in American Eagle jeans commercial. So stupid. It's so stupid. And they still talk about this to this day. And that's old news, but it's still coming up, and getting a ton of backlash, and people are literally having meltdowns.
Hey, Pantone, you're fired.
Uh-oh.
You really chose white? You chose white? In these times, you're fired. This is Katie Rogers Feng Shui. I know the danger of that kind of messaging, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
She literally took a bunch of colors she probably got the color sample thing from Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and she just got a whole shit ton of them and lit them on fire, and she gave her opinion about how pissed off she is about what's happening right now. It's so funny. You're fired.
Really, 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 really bad choice.
Why is it bad? Why is it bad? Yeah, this is why it's a problem. Yeah. Why is this a problem? It's not. It's because you're hateful. You hate people. You just hate it. You hate, and you have no life. You're depressed. You're depressed. You have no life. You have nothing going for you right now of any sort of positivity in your world. You need a role model. You need a role model. Even this she looks like an older woman, little bit. She has nothing better to do. I wonder if she's single. She's probably, recently divorced. Her kids probably, if she does have any children, they probably don't have a very good relationship. And they probably would rather live with their dad. I know if this was my mom and I was a kid and I would see this, I'd be a little pissed off at my mom, especially because of a video of my mother. Let's just say she died. I have no idea. I'm just speculating here. I have no idea who this woman is. But let's just pretend she does have children. If you see this and your mom, this is your mother and you're a kid, maybe in high school, and you see this and it goes viral, you're going to be a little pissed off. You're going to be a little embarrassed. You're going to hate that shit. Like, man, dad doesn't do that. Dad's not crazy. Like, my mom is nuts. They shouldn't ever wear white again. Really commit to it. Yeah. Don't wear anything white. Don't even wear anything remotely white ever again. Ever. Don't buy a white car. Don't buy a white scarf. Don't buy a white t-shirt that is a hint of white in it anywhere. Don't ever wear it again. Ever. Don't do it ever again. It's just stupid, man. And the thing about it is, it's so easy to trigger people nowadays. It's not hard. Tears of the left. Yes. They're having meltdowns. They really are. Tears of the left. That says it all. They're having panic attacks over something so dumb. Holy fuck. They love, excuse me. Sometimes I think I have acid reflux. I apologize. I burp a lot sometimes out loud, and that's just, yeah, my bad. Sorry. Holy fuck. Love, they didn't mean you. What is this? What is this? Wait. Oh, I thought this was a video. Maybe it is not. Okay. Is it? No, it is not. It's just a picture. Okay. I thought it was a video. It looks like a video. Let's see here. Nope. That's not it. Okay. Some of these are links that you can click on. I want to see this. I want to see this woman here from the New York Times posted it, but it's got music in the background and I don't want to hit with like copyright stuff. So I'm trying to see if I can find that. It's just a bunch of retweets here. What's this?
You're not going to convince me that this was not an intentional. You're not going to convince me that this was not an intentional move. There's no way that this was an oversight. Like, someone did this on purpose.
Somebody did it on purpose.
Just released their color of the year for 2026, and it is severely lacking pigment.
Yeah, seriously, beyond ridiculous. It is. And this has music in the background. I'm not going to play it, unfortunately. I just don't want to get hit with any copyright stuff. And I could have swore I found a video of this woman here. She said a lot of dumb shit. What's this guy saying here?
And it's got a lot of
nope, that's got music too. So yeah, there's a lot of people having meltdowns over this, and it is quite interesting, to say the least, because people have nothing better to do with their time. They really don't, and I think it's hilarious. And yeah, it is ridiculous. It really is. It's ridiculous. And like I said, if you have any sort of like racial anything in your bones, you're always going to have a problem with it. You really are. You really are.
Next up, Pantone. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
This is the time of year when we get to unveil their color of the year. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the 2026 color of the year is Pantone 114201, also known as
White?
No.
White?
Cloud. No, listen. It's called Cloud Dancer.
Really
Wait a minute. Before you judge, let me explain Cloud Dancer. The Color Authority describes it as a, quote, billowy, balanced white imbue with a feeling of serenity.
No.
Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, everybody's having problems with it. It's just funny, man. It really is. It's hilarious when you think about it. It doesn't, okay, what is...
This late night, we hope you're doing well.
Pantone Cloud. Okay, this is Late Night Show with Sean Myers.
President
This is kind
Trump
of...
and First Lady Melania Trump.
What
Good
is...
evening, everybody. I'm Seth Myers. This late night, we hope you're doing well. And now,
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see
to...
if I can fast forward this here. He's going to talk about a lot of dumb shit. Like Seth Myers is a Trump hater. I think he hates Trump more than anything else. I think, yeah, that's another thing. Like Donald Trump lives rent free in these people's lives. And it always comes back to Donald Trump, doesn't it? They could take everything racial in this country, no matter what it is. They could take it and somehow loop it back to Donald Trump, and it's his fault. Says the people sitting on the couch, the same color. Yeah, exactly. It's like they hate themselves for being for what God gave them. They're for them being white. They hate themselves for being white, and then they apologize for it. They apologize out loud. Remember that when everybody was apologizing for being white? I don't know what's wrong with people. They're nuts. People are nuts. They need to go outside. Get some sunlight, go maybe start like a knitting club or a puzzle club, or maybe go wash your car, vacuum it out, keep your mind busy, go to the grocery store and just, go outside, go do something else. Stop being so crazy. Hold on. Let me see Seth Myers here. Is he going to talk about it? I think he said he did, but I don't see it anywhere in the, in this clip. Oh, wait, here we go. This might be it. It's literally the same color. It is.
On social media, which means millions of children in Australia will finally put their phones down, go outside, get bit by something, and die.
Yeah. He's talking about Australia here.
I should have given them an iPad.
If you guys don't know anything about Australia, everything in Australia is trying to kill you, and then the things that are trying to kill you, there's something else trying to kill it. That's the truth. That's true.
Pantone recently announced that its 2026 color of the year is Cloud Dancer, which it describes as a, quote, lofty white neutral, which is also how I describe Steve Kornacki.
Is that the guy from Meet the Press that goes online and he talks about just stuff on the news? What was that, NBC or CBS News or whatever it was?
That joke's for Leslie Jones. She's a big fan. And finally, a raccoon recently broke into a liquor store in Virginia.
Yeah, that was funny too. Maybe we should talk about that. There was a raccoon that broke into a liquor store. Let's see.
Virginia smashed multiple bottles of bourbon and was discovered passed out on the bathroom. And finally, a raccoon recently broke into a liquor store in Virginia, smashed multiple bottles of bourbon, and was discovered passed out on the bathroom floor, which incidentally is also the Virginia state flag.
Oh my!
That was a monologue.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, anyway, the whole raccoon thing that broke into a liquor store and tipped over a bunch of bottles, that was hilarious. That was funny. I can't tell you, like, this, if you don't know it, maybe we'll pull that up too and take a look at it. But that was hilarious. That raccoon, he went in there, the raccoon went in there, tipped over a bunch of liquor bottles, and then got drunk and passed out in the bathroom. Hilarious.
Now to the color choice that surprised many in design. The Pantone Color Institute has chosen its color of the year for 2026. And for the first time in the Institute's 27 years of picking a color, it's a shade of white.
It's a shade of white.
To be precise, next year's color is Pantone 11-4201 Cloud Dancer.
AKA piss off the liberal racial white people.
For more on the reveal, we're joined by Pantone Color Institute's Vice President, Lori Pressman. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, okay. Now we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Lori.
Thank you so much.
And you're wearing Cloud Dancer,
Yes,
right?
Of course I am.
Hey, you can't, you got to be careful. You got to watch. Be careful what you wear out in public now. There is some kind of seriousness about that. The more that this sparks controversy the way it does, you got to really be careful, man, because society is full of a lot of angry, pissed off people. And if they're going to use this as like something that's triggering to them, you just don't know with people anymore. And that's fucking sad, dude.
We're like floating on a cloud here. This color has elicited a lot of reaction from folks in the design world.
Yeah.
They may be tickled pink or seeing red, but what would you,
hold on. Did she say tickled pink?
Can you tell us about this color? But they may be tickled pink or seeing red.
What does she mean by tickled pink? You might be seeing some tickled pink. Or seeing red, I get that. What is tickled pink? Like you're almost, like you're pissed off, but you're not really quite there yet as far as seeing red? I don't know. I've never heard that of using it in that terminology before. That's new.
But what can you tell us about this color choice and how you went about in choosing it?
What we do, this is a global team of people who I liken to color anthropologists. They can see the world through the lens of color. And we're looking at all the different influences we see showing up across design.
So she's seeing the world through the lens of color, which that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, because the whole world is full of color in general. The world is full of colorful people, colorful buildings, places out in different parts of the different countries throughout the world. There's color in everything. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's white in everything. There's green in everything. There's different meanings to all these different colors that mean different things. And like warmth versus cold versus, what movie was that? Laughing like you're being tickled and turning pink. Yeah. You're being tickled and turning pink. What was that movie? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but Mask. That is a great movie. If you've never seen Mask is the story, a true story of Rocky Dennis. It was a true story about a boy that had what was that disease called that he had? And it was like I remember it as something along the lines of elephantitis or elephant. It's like he had a deformed facial figure. It's really sad. But anyway, in the movie, there was a scene in the movie where he was at summer camp. And he was at summer camp. I don't want to spoil it. Well, tough shit. I'm going to spoil it for you. That movie's old as shit. It's been out since the 80s. It's got Cher in it and Sam Elliott. Shout out to the Sam Elliott fans out there. It's probably the best looking dude on the planet, Sam Elliott. But it really is, man. Sam Elliott is a boss, dude. He really is. And it has Cher, Sam Elliott, and Eric Stoltz, I think, that played Rocky Dennis. And there's a scene in the movie where he is getting Rocky Dennis. Rocky's trying to get away from his mother, who was a drug addict. And he went to summer camp. But the summer camp was about people, or the kids that went to the summer camp wasn't your typical summer camp. Everybody at the summer camp there was blind. So I'm assuming, and the thought around that was because of the way he looked, he didn't want to be, he knew he really wasn't going to be criticized much by the kids that went there because they're blind. They can't see. So he goes to the summer camp and he meets this girl, and the girl is blind, right? So his personality in the movie is very likable. He had a very good personality, very smart kid, super smart kid. And he goes there, he builds this friendship with this girl, and she was having a conversation with him in the movie, and she couldn't figure out what things meant as far as like what things felt like or what that meant, just like things in general. Like she didn't know what things looked like. Obviously she's blind, so she didn't know like what clouds looked like, or she didn't know what certain colors meant based on what things looked like. So what Rocky Dennis did is he was talking to her in the movie. I'm just kind of speculating. I can't remember like verbatim of what happened. I'm just kind of going off remembrance here. But anyway, because the conversation came up, she's like, I don't know what clouds look like. I've never seen, because they were having a conversation and somehow clouds got brought into it. And she's like, I don't know what clouds look like. And the genius of Rocky Dennis in the movie, I don't know if that's a true story or not. It had to have been. He takes cotton balls and he tells her, hold your hand out. And he's like, these are clouds. This is what clouds feels like. And he puts like some cotton balls in her hand. And she's like, oh man, she was like excited. She's like, oh, I understand. Cause nobody can ever get her to understand what things looked like and what things felt like. And the genius of Rocky Dennis in the movie is he would put cotton balls in her hand and he's like, these are clouds. These are clouds. And she's like, oh, wow. It's really soft. And he's like, yes, this is what clouds. And then he took a rock and I think he put it in a microwave. He picked up a rock. I think he stuck it in the microwave. And then he took the rock out of the microwave and it was hot, right? And then let me backtrack a little bit. Clouds, he said, were blue. This is the sky with clouds. He said, this is blue. Because I think that's what it was. I think she couldn't determine like what the colors meant or what they were because she couldn't see. So he's like, this is blue. These are what clouds feel like. This is blue. Oh, that's what it was. Blue. I think he put something cold in her hands. That's what it was. He put something cold in her hand. I think it was ice. He took ice and he put it in her hand. He's like, this is blue. And she's like, oh. And then he put cotton balls in her hand. These are clouds. And then he took a rock, he put it in a microwave and he picked it up and he put it in her hand. He's like, this is red. And she's like, oh. And then she started to understand. There's the whole point I'm trying to make here is there is meaning in everything when it comes to color. It's not just a racial thing. That movie is a great fucking movie. If you've never seen Mask with Cher and Sam Elliott, I encourage all you guys to go watch it. Sorry, that just came to mind because we're all talking about this whole color thing. And when I saw this, it just now popped into my mind. Not everybody sees color the way these crazy liberals do. The only way you're going to have a problem with this is if you have hatred in your heart.
And we could see this showing up, whether it was in art, whether it was in fashion, whether it was interiors or product design. We're looking at new materials and effects, social media. And then from there, we look to see what is driving this. And when we look around
what
and
is
we
driving
see
it?
Everything that's happening, the 24/7 hustle culture.
How many people are a fan of white roses? Are you a fan of white roses? I'm a fan of white roses. I like white roses, red roses, yellow daisies. Like they all mean something. And I never find it to be hateful in any way, shape, or form. Black is my favorite color. Obviously, if you go watch any of my videos, I'm wearing a black shirt. I'm wearing black shorts right now. I'm wearing a black hat, red. I love the color red and black. I love yellow. I love white. I love different types of colors, but my favorite colors are black and red. I love black and red. Maybe we'd be better off if we were all blind. That was in the movie Mask. That's why he went to the camp. Everybody's blind. No one's going to see me for what I look like. They're going to see me for what I sound like and my personality. Maybe we all should be blind. Maybe we should be colorblind and blind.
We feel overstimulated and overcommitted. All these distractions coming in at us, and seeing how people were looking for simplicity, looking for clarity, just wanting to disconnect, just wanting to step back just a little bit, and really take that time to calm their mind, relax their mind, and open themselves up in a different way.
It's true.
And see things above the clouds.
And this is the first time that Pantone...
And then when you think of heaven, what do you think of? When you think of heaven, if you're a deeply religious person or just religious or just you think of heaven, what do you think? The pearly gates going up into the clouds of just a white light. How many people say they see a bright white light? Don't go towards the white light. Don't go towards it. And like there's a meaning as far as color goes in everything.
Has chosen a shade.
And when the whole point around that is when I think of heaven, I think of like a bright white light of going towards the pearly gates. And I think of white clouds and just, you know, none of this goes towards race.
And
it's
kind of
just
stepped
insane
away
to
from
me.
the bolder choices.
Yes.
What would you say to those that are underwhelmed and say that this shade of white isn't even a color? What would you say to those folks?
Well,
nobody said anything about the previous colors throughout the previous years, I don't believe. Because look, go back and look at this. Look, 2020 was classic blue. 2021 and 2021 was illuminating and ultimate gray. 2022 is very peary. Viva magenta for 2023, peach fuzz for 2024, and then mocha mousse for 2025. Notice between 2020 and 2024 or 2025, who was leading the country? The Biden administration from 2021 all the way to 2025 and until Trump got into office officially in office in 2024 when he ran for president. Look at these colors. Blue, yellow, gray, purple, red, peach, mousse, mocha mousse. Nobody said anything. And nobody chose throughout those years. That was like the most racial tension I think our country has ever seen over the last 4 years, better half of 5 years, actually 6, if you want to be honest. That's where I felt like the racial tendencies like really were sparking in this country. You don't see white in there. Then they come out with white this year. And it makes you wonder, were they trying to use white in previous years, but something scared them to not using white because they were afraid of the backlash? And then they see the whole Sydney Sweeney thing, and then they see the American Eagles thing, and then they see other organizations that just are starting to say, I don't care what you think anymore. I'm going to do what I see fit. If you see racist and racial things in this, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You just need to get over it. But it makes me wonder if they actually wanted to use this in previous years, the color white. But white does go with everything, man. It really does.
And say that this shade of white isn't even a color. What would you say to those folks?
Well, I would say I think we need to look at this a little bit differently.
It is a color. Excuse me. It is a color because if you go back and you watch or not watch, if you go buy any house, in America, I don't care what it is. If you not buy a house, but buy it. Well, yes, buy a house, but it's a brand new build. If it's a brand new build, brand new house, what color are they going to use to paint the walls and the ceiling and the trim? White. They're going to use white. They paint everything white, a flat white. It is kind of ugly because it's a flat white, whatever. But they do it because that's just a standard, right? It is a color. It's an actual color. And people say, it's not a real color. Yeah, it is. And it's used a lot in a lot of different things. Painting houses, painting trim, painting siding, painting fences, the white picket fences. It's used in a lot of different things. And it goes with a lot of shit.
We're looking at a time where people want lightness. People want a little bit of serenity.
A little bit.
They're looking for things that are versatile.
Oh, also, too, when you take white, if you're a painter, ask any painter. If they're trying to mix specific colors together, one of the main ingredients is white. They'll take white. Go watch Bob Ross. Go watch a video of Bob Ross. He takes his white oil paint, and he'll mix it with other colors to create other colors. White goes with everything. The message, no sense what she said before. There are all softer shades of white. There is.
So when we think about a shade like this, again, it is that neutral white shade. So it goes with anything and everything. It provides scaffolding, as we would say, for the entirety of the color palette. So maybe you don't want to wear it on its own, but it goes with anything and everything. And at a time when we see consumers being so much more thoughtful about their color choices, wanting things that are accessible, things that are versatile.
Go watch any news network. Go watch any news network. Go watch any for example, news network. Look here. There's white in the colors here. Fox News, white in the text. It's everywhere. Why didn't anybody have a problem with it before?
I think this made perfect sense.
So how do you decide on the color?
It's ongoing conversations. This is a team that is also
It's a team effort. It's a team
working with many different clients.
Teamwork.
Guiding them for color for product, color for brand,
Different
visual
shades of
identity.
white, yeah.
So they spend their days researching, visual research, combing the streets, looking for new influences, and influences come from everywhere. We don't really start having a more serious conversation till probably around March or April.
Yeah.
And then we wait a couple more months, and then we slowly but surely get to the place. But it's a lot of visual research more than anything else.
And along with this announcement, Pantone
they look at that visual research to see, and then they come to the realization that, look, what color is the chair they're in? It's white.
is also launching a creative
Hold on, did they do that on purpose just because of who she is?
initiative with artists that are using this color. So what can we expect?
Well,
artists use the color because they mix white to get different shades of color.
I think you're going to expect to see many different designs coming from many different artists around the world. The first one being Emiliano Ponzi, who has created this fabulous looking tote. We can't wait to see it. And from there,
fabulous.
Each month we'll be introducing other items. I don't know that I can share those with you yet, as much as I would like to come up with other creations inspired by Cloud Dancer.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. And you know what I mean? And, I'm getting angry typing is coming out wrong. You get that aggressive typing, and then it auto corrects on you because you're trying to say something. It's not very nice. And then it thinks you're trying to say one thing, and then it's not officially what I'm trying to say. No, I'm trying to say this, and it spells it all wrong. Yeah. It just goes back to what I was saying previously. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. If you see a problem with this, I think you need to take a step back and reevaluate your life and reevaluate your inner self and reevaluate just the things that are going on in your life to cause you to be so hateful and so angry at something so stupid as them picking a color. It's a color. It has no rhyme or meaning to it other than the fact that it goes with a lot of stuff. It's not a racial thing. It's not a bigotry thing. It's not anything that is causing me to step back and just make a video about how I have a problem with it. Because I don't have a problem with it. The liberals that have some sort of racial hatred in their heart or just hatred in general, those are the people that are pissed off, that have a problem with this. And it's really sad. It really is. It's really sad. And going back, yeah, go touch grass. Yeah, go outside, go touch grass, go get some exercise, go get some sunlight. It's just when you look up in the sky and you look at the stars, the first thing that comes, I mean, it's a bright white dot in the sky. It's not white, but when you look up there, it's a white, bright light. It looks like it's a white star. Obviously, it's not. It's a planet like Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, whatever. You know, there's white in everything. You can't get away from it. Just like there's a black in everything. I love the color black. I put everything in black. My background is for my X feed is black. My YouTube feed is all black. It's not white. It's not anything. Black and red, yellow. Those are like my top favorite colors. And there is red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. You got to have the red, white, and blue. It's just at the end of the day, these people are just hateful. They're just hateful people, and they have no lives. And it's really sad because I feel like, you know, society would be a much better place maybe if we all were colorblind. Maybe if we all couldn't see the hatefulness in their heart. Maybe if everybody was, you know, not so triggered by anything and everything anymore. Kind of makes you want to go back to the 1980s. You know, the other day I was watching a video of like It came across my feed on my YouTube shorts. The last day of high school, 1985. The last day of high school, 2000. Last day of high school, 1990, 1995. The one thing that you noticed in those videos, the people just filming like the last day of high school in the 80s or 90s, the one thing you noticed in those clips is nobody had a cell phone. Nobody had a computer. Nobody had pagers. Nobody had things that were distracting them. More so a cell phone. No cell phones. Everybody was socially engaged. Everybody was hanging out with one another. People were happy in those videos. They were smiling. They had a time in their lives where technology just didn't take over like we have today. And when I saw those videos, I'm like, those days are gone. It's kind of sad because people were happy. It seemed like people were happier in the 80s and 90s and probably the 70s too, because we didn't have technology to ruin everything. And we didn't have stupid shit like this of people talking about shades of color being like a racial thing. We didn't have that thing. We didn't have those. We didn't see that. Like back when I was in high school, we didn't, and my wife, when she was in high school, nobody thought like that. Nobody really thought like that. They really didn't. And if you did, you were just a hateful person. That's just all it is to it. You're just a hateful person. I don't see any problem with this. And again, the one thing that sticks out in my mind is the movie Mask, when the people that were blind couldn't see things for what they were or what things meant because they were blind. And that was a genius part on Rocky Dennis to just take a hot rock from a microwave. This is red. Or to take cotton balls. This is what clouds feel like. Or to take ice, something cold. This is blue. This is what blue feels like. This is what blue is. And like different, I think he had like, he used other colors or other things to describe what other things looked like or felt like. And I just remember that the red and the blue and the cotton balls. I think he used green. That's what green is. Something like that. Purple. He was trying to describe what colors meant. No racial shit in it whatsoever. Yeah, good times. Good times. So for me, in my opinion, this is not a big deal. I don't see any problem with this. I think it's a you thing. I think it's your problem. I think it's you that is sparking the hatefulness in your heart. I think you should reevaluate yourselves. I think you should just sit down and really evaluate your life and say, hey, is this something I should be really thinking about and really taking time to let this get to me? No. Just get along with everybody, love everybody as much as you possibly can. I know nowadays it is hard. It is difficult for people to get along with one another. And I blame technology. I blame the media, especially the media. The media can be a very divisive platform that divides a lot of people, depending upon who's covering this story and how they want to cover it. And if they want to use racialness, any sort of racial anything in it, it's going to spark a lot of controversy. And it's going to divide people. So instead of dividing people, figure out a way to bring people together. Then that never happens anymore. It doesn't happen. Agreed. Yes. It doesn't happen anymore. And that's sad. It really is. It's not, I don't see an issue with this. Next year, it probably won't, it's not going to be white. It's going to be a different color. It's probably going to be something that no one gives a shit about. But when you use white in anything, it sparks controversy. It sparks hate. And that's really sad. And it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. I'm going to make a video out of this. So I want you guys to tell me in the comment section below that, do you think that this is a problem? Do you see any sort of hate towards this? Do you see any racialness towards this particular, color that they're choosing? Why do you think white is such a problem in them using this color? It's not even white. It's called Cloud Dancer. And when I think of Cloud Dancer, I'm thinking white. Think of clouds. I'm fine with it. And I'm not white. You're not white. It's just, there's all sorts of different races of humans that have no problem with this. African-Americans, there's a lot of African-Americans that don't have any problems with this. There's a lot of Pacific Islanders that have no problem with this whatsoever. There's a lot of Asians that have no problem with this. Mexicans don't have problems with this. Like Hispanic people have like no problem with this. If you do, it's you have a problem. You are the problem. So stop. Just stop. Move on with your life. Just move on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Is this a problem? Do you have a problem with them choosing this color of Cloud Dancer? Or do you think it's not a big deal? It's just a color. It means nothing. Let me know your thought process in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to figure out some other things that we could discuss here. It is a you problem. It really is. It is a you problem. I think if you're going to go online and spread just it's fine. Like if you're trying to get a point across of it not being a big deal, kind of like we're doing here. But for people to go online and use it to, cause divisiveness and hatred, that's not cool. I don't like that.
I predict that the color of the year that Pantone announces is going to be some shade of blue. And
there's just people seeing like what they were talking about. So predicting
Benjamin
their
Moore
colors.
just announced their 2020 Benjamin Moore's Look Green Now meltdown, and it really supports the channel. All right, let's get into these.
Okay, so that's not it. All right, so I was just kind of looking at some other things that we might be able to go over and discuss.
Pantone choosing what?
No. Okay. So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of the whole entire thing. Good first live stream. Yes, it is a good first live stream. I'd say we did all right. We did pretty good. We did all right. I don't have anything else really to discuss here today. That was like the biggest thing I really wanted to kind of talk about. I could literally stream on this channel and talk about a lot of different things for hours. For hours and hours. I could probably stream today for 12 hours. Just pulling up stuff, looking at stuff, having a conversation, and talking about it. But for the first live stream, we'll just kind of let this one be for right now. How long will we live for today? Almost a little over an hour. Almost an hour and 10 minutes. We were live. Almost an hour and 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you that either come by later and check out the live stream, that may come back at a different time, like I said, and maybe leave a comment or whatever it is. Or for those of you that did stop by today and checked out the live stream, either for a minute or two or what have you, just so you know, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. If you haven't already, be sure to like the stream, like our videos, subscribe to the channel, turn on all the notifications so you don't miss any time I upload a video or when I go live. And also too, I'm thinking about starting a social media on X. I have not done that just yet. I'm kind of experimenting with this channel. I don't know what direction it's going to go in. All I know is I'm just kind of putting out videos that I'm passionate about, and that's where I'm at right now. So I'll probably end up starting a social media on X, because I feel like X is the best platform for freedom of speech. So I think it's going to be on X. I'll probably stay away from Instagram. I'll probably stay away from Facebook. And I'll probably stay away from, those are the top ones. X is the platform. It's the best platform on the market. Elon Musk is a genius. I feel like he's probably the most important person on the planet. Elon Musk is the most important person on this planet right now, and I'll tell you why before we shut this live stream down. Elon Musk, you see how I can go from one thing to the next, like without warning. My brain will go from one thing, go from talking about one thing and then all of a sudden, boom, I'll go I can go from this topic to this topic like that. Because I got things that pop in my head and I don't know how to like, set myself up for the transition, if that makes sense. Like, hey, we're going to talk this and now I'm going to kind of shift gears and then I'm going to talk about this because it's related to what I was originally talking about. That's not how my brain works. It goes from, it's like hyperactive. Maybe I have ADHD. It goes from talking about this to this in a split second at the speed of light. Elon Musk, in my opinion, is the most important person on this planet, and I'll tell you why. There's no one else that thinks like he does. He's a genius. He's doing important things. One of the most important things that he's doing is creating a platform on X that is free speech. You say what you want. You say how you feel within reason. Obviously, if you're saying some really fucked up shit, that's not cool. But if you have an opinion on something and you feel strongly about something, you could say it on the X platform. So he's doing a very good thing over there. Excuse me. The second thing that he's doing is Neuralink. Neuralink, and we were just talking about my wife about Neuralink the other day. Neuralink is probably one of the most important company on the planet in terms of medical. And I'll tell you why. Because there's people that are paralyzed either from the neck down. Usually I think from the neck down, they don't have any feeling in their arms or legs or anything, but they can still move their neck. They can still think for themselves and talk and so on and so forth. Right. He's doing really good things over there because he's taken those chips that they're developing and they're implementing those chips into these people's brains. And they're able to have somewhat of a more normal life than they ever could think about prior to having this chip inserted into their brain. They're able to take those chips and use those chips and help people have a normal life, a little bit more normal than what they've had before. I don't know the ins and outs of how of how Neuralink works. The only thing that really comes to mind about Neuralink is there was an individual who had a Neuralink chip installed into his head, and he went online to play Call of Duty. And he said when he played Call of Duty, he had a lot more freedom of playing it. And because he was able, the reason why is because he was able, all he had to do was look at his targets. It was almost like cheating in a way. All he had to do was look at the targets and he was able to take them out just by looking at them. And his character in Call of Duty would move and he'd see a target and it would shoot. You'd see another target and shoot. It was like almost having what they call aimbot in Call of Duty, where you just lock on your target and you never miss. It was kind of almost like that. So, but it allowed him to play video games by having this chip installed into his head. That's just one example. Another thing that I think about when I think of Neuralink is Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeve, when he was alive, everybody knows his story. He was paralyzed from the neck down, doing a lot of research with stem cells, and trying to, look into how people that were paralyzed and how they can have a normal life and potentially walk one day. We were talking the other night and I was thinking to myself, you know what, if Christopher Reeve was still alive, I think he would love Neuralink. I think he would use Neuralink heavily. And I think he would look at Elon Musk. I feel he would look at Elon Musk as a very important part of his life. And in a way that he looks at him almost in a sense of, this guy is doing some really, really good things. I want to invest. I feel like he would want to invest into Neuralink heavily because I think that Elon would be in the next 10 years might be able to take those chips and the technology that they can put in those chips and help people walk. I think that's on the way. And it's because of Elon Musk and the things that he's doing with Neuralink. So I feel like within the next 10 years, maybe even 20, that people that are paralyzed, that are in a wheelchair, these paraplegics, will be able to use Neuralink to help them walk again. I feel strongly about that. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I feel like Elon Musk is the most important person on this planet. The other reason why I think Elon Musk is the most important person on this planet is because of Starlink. Starlink is sending satellites into space to give people internet, no matter what country you live in, no matter what part of the world that you're in. You'll have high-speed internet regardless of where you live. You can be in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, no cell phone service, no nothing. If you have Starlink's satellite and you put it up there, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. As long as it has a signal to the sky, you have internet, high-speed internet. There's a video or like a picture I saw online of people in the middle of the jungle that had a table set up with computers and they were gaming in the middle of the jungle. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, that's amazing. That is truly amazing. So he's providing high-speed internet to anybody in the world just by satellite. That's amazing. I feel like he should start his own cell phone company. I really do. And obviously Tesla, electric cars. Eventually I feel like electric cars are just going to drive themselves 100% of the time. All you got to do is get in it, tell it where you want it to go. GPS will take that car where it needs to go. And they already do that now with other companies are already doing that now. But I feel like eventually what's going to happen is every car will do that on the road where you don't drive anymore. All you do is get in it, tell it where you want to go, and it'll take you there. You can get in it, you can get in the back, you can take a nap, you can fall asleep, you can do other stuff. And eventually that's what's going to happen all the time. Every single time you get into the car. There's going to be AI is going to take over. I think Grok's already installed in Tesla, or some sort of AI is installed in Tesla already. I feel Grok is the most important piece of AI that's out there right now. That does a lot of good things. It's endless stuff that he's doing right now, and he's doing it for the greater good of humanity. And I feel like that's why I think he's the most important person on this planet. And love him or hate him. And the reason why people hate Elon Musk is because he's a billionaire. But he don't live like your typical billionaire, does he? No, you don't see him going out there spending $500 million on yachts like Jeff Bezos does. You don't see him going out there buying these luxurious properties and all over the world and buying all these luxury cars. He could do that. But you don't see him doing that. You don't see him cruising around in a Lamborghini. You don't see him cruising around in a high-end BMW. You don't see him cruising around in those things like you see Jeff Bezos doing. Every time you turn around and see Bezos, he's always, he's got his wife, once was his girlfriend, now his wife now. You got her like on his hip, just like, looking the way she does. And it's because of his wealth. But I mean, you look at a picture of Jeff Bezos 20 years ago. I mean, that dude does not look the same. He's a very different man, probably thinks differently, looks different. His wife, I felt like was the biggest reason why he's a multi-billionaire right now and why Amazon exists. I think a lot of it has to do with his wife. So I credit his wife a lot of the times. When I think of Amazon, I think of his wife, his previous wife before this one. But yeah, going back to Elon Musk, you don't see him spending his billions that way. You just don't. I think the guy hoards his money. And now he's on his way to be the first trillionaire. And rightfully so. This man is doing a lot of good things for this country and for the world. He really is. And he's a very smart man. So I feel like he's the most important person on this planet. So shout out to Elon Musk. Hey, Elon, let's talk. Let's do some interviews. That'd be awesome. If I can get Elon Musk on this channel to do an interview, that'd be badass. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I could talk about Elon Musk all day long. I could talk about political shit all day long. I could talk about Donald Trump all day long. I could talk about other world leaders all day long. I could talk about other content creators on YouTube that are within my niche. I could talk about them all day long. But for this particular live stream, it's already longer than I anticipated. We're at 1 hour and 20 minutes already. I think that's okay. I think we're good here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, be sure to like the videos that I upload, subscribe to the channel, turn on all those notifications so you don't miss any time I go live or drop a video. And until next time, I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Be on the lookout for the videos, and we will see you all very soon. Take care.